Hello, hello, welcome. I'm Elizé, and today we're going to be talking about goal setting for next year. I love having goals that I'm thinking about, that I'm intentional about, because last year I really did not have all of my goals thought out. I had just financial goals, and because of that, I kind of set myself up for not having success in some ways. I didn't think about all the different aspects of my life and all the different goals that I wanted to achieve. And so that's why this year I'm really coming into it with more intention, thinking about all the different aspects of my life, and coming into designing with a lot of joy and happiness as I think about these different aspects of my life and where I want to be next year. So, we are going to have some exercises we're going to do together to think really holistically about where we want to be in the next year. All right, so here, let me show you my screen. You guys are gonna have access to this PDF that I created, and it is just down below in the caption that where you can download it. And I like how Reverb Mike says, "Go watch too much soccer." I was really sad there was no soccer today. I couldn't watch any of the Euro Cup. I woke up at 7 a.m. I turned on the TV. I was like, "Oh, it's not happening today. How sad." So I feel you. All right, so day 3, we are goal setting. We've spent the last few days doing other exercises to set ourselves up with reflecting on the past year. Now we're starting to think of what we want for the next year. So if you missed the last 2 parts of this exercise or these exercises, don't worry. They're each a standalone exercise you can do. You can also re-watch those exercises later if you want to do them and fill your ebook that we are creating. Okay, so the challenge prompt for today is using Adobe Express. We're going to be creating 1 to 3 pages that display attainable and motivational goals related to major areas of your life, such as relationships, health, and work. So this is my little example that we're going to be creating today. The other thing I'm always going to just note is my music playlist that I add. So each day you're going to see a new playlist, or the playlist that I was listening to when I was designing and creating this exercise. So that's right there, as well as some of the directions that I'm going to be reviewing with you today. So the first exercise is vision reflection. And this actually comes from my book right here. I know it might be hard to see. It's called Hustle Sanely. So this is a really great company where she has this scheduler she makes so that you come into each day with intention. And she also has a few exercises to come into the year with intention and have some goals set up. So that's what I used as my inspiration, because that's what I filled out for myself for this year. And I've added it here for you guys. So this is the vision reflection section. And you're going to start with kind of what is your current state in these different areas? What is your current state with your relationships and family, finances, your mental and physical health, your work and education, home and living environment, and your personal life? So I'll just share one aspect of what I'm doing here for what I did for mine. So under my relationships and family, currently, I am prioritizing close friends. And that's feeling really good because I can be a bit of a social butterfly. And I think I was getting really exhausted with all my social activities. So I've narrowed it down, and I've started to really just think more about the close relationships and really maintaining and building on those. The score I would give myself, so here is a scale. 1 needs extra attention ASAP to 5 crushing it, right? So for my relationships and my family, I put a 4. I'm at a 4 right now. So I'm going to bold that. What's working really well is that quality time. I feel like I'm more present in my friendships and in my conversations with people because I'm spending less time with other people. I feel like I'm more focused. So that's really good. So focused attention. And is there anything that needs change? Something I want to do is start to build a spiritual community. So I want to find more people that are into meditation and into that self-growth. And I want to find a community like that that I can connect with in this year. So you just will go through this exercise with your, for each of these sections. And then underneath that, you have your vision planning. So with each of these categories, you're going to map out 3 priorities that you have. And again, you want to think about just this next year, just within the next year. You don't want to think like, the next 5 years and 10 years, the most ultimate thing. I think just think about 3 priorities that you think are manageable and attainable at this point. So 3 goals in this area. If that is overwhelming for you, just even thinking about a year from now, just think about the next 3 months. What about the first 3 months of the year? What does that look like? What are some priorities you can put in here? They can be really small or they could be big. So in mine, I put in here, for my relationships and family, I put, I put connecting more with my mom. So the other thing was I wanted to connect more with my mom. She moved nearby recently, but I found that I get irritated with my mom all the time. Do you guys feel that with your family, your close family? I get irritated constantly, and I want to change that dynamic a bit. I want to really enjoy my time more and feel more patient with her. So I'm going to practice patience with my mom. Right, so that's an example. So you just go through and fill this out for yourself. And when you're feeling good about it, think about a few areas that really connected with you, with something that you are really wanting for to have in this new year. And then we're going to put that into our ebook. We are creating an ebook with all the things that we all of our highlights of the past year, as well as our vision for the new year. If you have not done any of these exercises with me yet, you're going to start a new project, and I recommend starting from a template. So I've been using the collage templates for almost everything. So you can start with that. In just a minute, I'll show you a collage that I'm going to be using, a collage template I'm going to be using, so you can see my process for that. But otherwise, if you have started a project with me, you are going to get into your project that you started off with. And this is my project that I've created thus far. This is my inspiration for the design for the whole ebook. So that's what the first page is. So I haven't done any editing to it yet. And the following pages here are my highlights of the year. So this is my bachelorette in Solvang. I had my wedding in Madeira, lots of dancing, and playing with friends, playing games, and just enjoying being outside with friends. And then yesterday we worked on the gratitude journal. So yesterday I talked about moments that I felt really loved and feeling really a lot of gratitude for my husband and my wedding guests. So this is the next phase of our book that we're creating, which is the visioning our goals. So I'm going to go into templates. Bloop, 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 bloop. And like I mentioned, I am about collages all day. And what I do is I think about what collage kind of inspires me. I really liked this one here. And so now I can add it as a new page into my book. And the reason why I liked this one is for my goals. I chose that. I didn't want to add every single goal that I had. I wanted to just have a focus on a few goals, but you can do whatever you like. If you want to have multiple goals on one template, if you want to have multiple pages that have maybe one page is dedicated to your health and wellness. The other page is dedicated to your work and finance, right? So you can have free reign to do what you'd like. This is kind of the virtual version of having a bunch of newspapers and a book in front of you and having scissors and you're collaging, cutting things out and putting things together and making this a creative experience. I think the more action that you do towards your goal, the more creativity you bring into curating your goals, the more you are infusing them with yourself, the more that you are putting them into your mind and making them more of a reality, the more that you are being thoughtful and putting yourself into it. So that's why this is such a great exercise to kind of do the writing part and then have the creative part of your mind as well. And you're kind of blending both of those while you're thinking of your goals. I'm going to, on the right-hand side, resize this and make this the Instagram portrait size so that all of my pages are the same size in my ebook. And it's looking really cute already. I barely got to do anything. So I like these three columns here, and I'm just going to start to edit and change them. So as you saw, like a big part of what I want to do this year is find a spiritual community. I am like not really into this. Like the first layer is this like speckled layer. I'm just going to start like deleting and changing things that don't really fit the vibe that I'm going with. I'm going to start with the first column here. I'm just going to duplicate the text. So over here on the upper right hand side, you have the ability to duplicate. I'm going to put this guy here, and it is underneath the little rectangle. So over here down below, you can see all of your layers, and I am going to just drag the text layer above the little paper layer, right? So that it's on top now. That's an important piece as we go through this. And if you're like, I'm scared, I don't know what's happening. That's how you move things about. Okay, so I'm going to use Futura as my font, and I'm going to change the text here. So one of my goals is to find a spiritual community. Anyone else feeling like they're looking for a specific type of community that you haven't encountered yet? That you're like, I want to bring this into my life. I'm not sure how yet, but there's a certain community I want to bring in. From here, I'm going to change the background color to this yellow that I've been using. So this is my color palette that I've been collecting and adding into for my book so that everything has the same cohesive colors. And I'm going to get rid of this guy. He looks really nice, but he's not what I'm needing for my area here for spiritual community. I'm going to go over onto the left-hand side, and I'm going to go to design assets, and I'm going to look for people. So I'm thinking community, people, and I'm going to bring in this image. This looks spiritual. Not only am I looking for like a community, I'm looking for a spiritual teacher actually. So I'm just going to put in here like spiritual teacher. Maybe change this color. That looks nice and spiritual like, doesn't it? And again, this is like, I would just play if I were you guys, I would just play in here and like add things and look at the design assets and shapes. Nothing in here fits your vibe. You can also always just add images that you find elsewhere and add it into here. So I'm gonna just do something like that for now. And that's good enough for me. I like it. For what I'm looking for is like a feeling, and this kind of encapsulates the feeling. Okay. And then this middle section, I'm going to change the fill color to this pink that I've been using. And this one is going to be, actually, I'm going to just delete this and duplicate this text. So this middle section for me, the other big goal is I want to on a daily basis feel very balanced. So what does that mean? Well, I want to feel like my mind, my body, and my spirit are feeling really balanced. And I think that really comes from feeling really imbalanced this year. Um, so sometimes like, this year I really didn't work out very much. And it was like my body I was getting back pains all the time. And when I would work out, it was really hard on my body. And I wasn't practicing my meditations as much. And I just kind of felt out of alignment. So that's why I just want to make this a goal for me to stay balanced. On a daily basis. Because sometimes I'm like, oh, I'll think about my workouts later. And because of that, like, I just don't do it. And then for months, I'm like not working out. And then I suddenly am like having, body challenges. And like, again, I'm too old. I'm too old. No, I am too young to be standing up from my chair and like have to hold my back. Like I literally hold my back like, and it takes me a while to stand up straight. I'm like, that's not right. That is not right. So I need to be working out 3 times a week. And I want to also be doing like weekly yoga, like stretching, making that a big priority for me. So those are things I'm putting into here and putting that intention out there. Does anyone else have back problems like me? It's like, I think it's because when I was younger, I had a couple of car accidents. And I think it's just like messed with my body ever since. And so I have to be more careful than other people. So next, I'm thinking about my mind. So I have my body, being thoughtful about my body. And I'm just gonna delete this section, and I'm gonna duplicate this text and drag it over. And again, so this sometimes really throws people off when the texts are like underneath things. And so you just kind of have to have a little bit of patience to drag things about and put them in the right order. Okay. And for my mind, I want to do meditation 5 times a week. And if that seems like a lot for you, literally sometimes I'm like, I just need to do like a 5-minute meditation a day. And that's all I need, just something to kind of ground me back and stop thinking so much. The other thing I was having a really hard time with this year was like not sleeping through the night, because I like think in the middle of the night, like 2 a.m. I'd be like, oh, I didn't do this, I didn't do that, or why did I say that? And I feel like really restless in the night. So I need to really prioritize like meditating a bit more, making sure I feel like more grounded, especially in the morning and at night. So I'm just gonna put here like feeling balanced in the day is my biggest. I feel like this year for me, you could probably tell the big theme is a little bit more just spiritualism, more feeling connected to my mind and my body, and feeling more balanced. I think that's the big thing is just balance this next year. And I think if I think about that and that's my goal, it's going to be much easier to achieve. Alrighty then. Okay, we're going into design assets, and I am going to look for, guess what? A yogi. Yes, I am. That's kind of predictable with where I've been going with all this, huh? So I'm going to do my little yogi girl. She's going to be doing her little exercise right there. Look at her. Look at her booty. Hilarious. Didn't notice that before. Okay, I'm going to put her behind the text. All right. And then finally, I am going to like just keep going on with my plants. Like I have been a really good plant mama this year. That was something I did well this year, and I want to continue doing well with my little plant babies and being a good plant mom. I used to like kill my plants all the time. I was like a really bad plant mom. And so I'm feeling really good about being a good plant mom now. My husband is really shocked that I am being a good plant mom. So I want to keep this up because I've been noticing some of my plants dying recently. And I was like, no, like let's keep this going. So I'm going to change out these images here. So I'm just double clicking to get into a particular layer. So I want to get into this image layer, and then I can either upload a photo to replace it, or I can go into my Google Photos. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring in some of these images that I've already selected in my Google Photos and replace those. You're going to see like kind of how messy my house is actually. Let's take a good look. So if this is not like the shape I want, I can crop and move this about. You can see this is my little TV area. I just started like adding these little plants here next to the TV. Been feeling good about this little area recently. I know you can see more of the TV than the plants in that image, so it's not the best, but this book is for me. So who cares? It's for me to know about, and I feel good about that area. Also, we can see here an image of my husband laying down on the couch with our little plant babies all behind him. So I've also been feeling really good about all my plants that I've added back here. And there's my husband on the couch. Isn't that fun to see? So I'm gonna just elongate this. So you can just see a bit more of the plants, and then move this down. Okay, and of course I want to bring in some plant images, but I don't really have that much time for it. But you guess where you can probably guess where I'm going here. So I'm gonna probably just like throw in some plant images and just beef up this whole thing a bit. And then finally, for my background, I think I'm just gonna like choose one of my colors that I've been using. And I am going to, from a previous page. Oh, Wade is asking if I have tips for a money tree. I have never kept a money tree alive, but the thing that I do for all my plants is I make sure to not give them too much water. I water all my plants on the same schedule, and it's about every 10 days that I water my plants. So it's a lot less than people will think. And I think that's what usually throws people off. So here I just put my 2023 goals, and I'm just gonna do a little smiley face because that's kind of, they make me happy, and I want to be like really happy about my goals for this year. So I'm gonna do something like that. And again, this is like for you to have fun, play around with the different collages and the different images, make it beefy, make it chunky, make it ugly, make it cool. Do what you want that feels good for you, so that when you look at this, you know, maybe mid-year, and you look at it in the next year when you update it, you can be like, oh yes, where have I gotten in this area? Like, have I gotten to be a better plant mom? Is that, you know, something that I've been working on this year? Have I been feeling more balanced compared to last year? And that's what this is supposed to be about, is just to spark some joy within yourself when you look at it, and for you to feel something, like for you to be like, yes, I do want this spiritual community, and I feel something when I look at this. It's not about anybody else or trying to make something beautiful or perfect for anybody else, but yourself. Okay, Anika, you have fake plants. So do I. 20% of my plants are fake. And I get away with it because also when you have like a fake plant and a real plant, it kind of like people don't know. And sometimes I play a game like, is it real? Is it fake with my guests? And so that's a great technique too, because I was killing a lot of my plants. And so I used to buy a lot of fake plants too. All right. So I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me, talking about goals. I really hope that you get to find some clarity by thinking about your own goals and bringing some intention into your goals for next year. And I'd love if you would want to share them on social media, share them with me, Elizé_presents. I'm happy to take a look at your images as you're creating them and share our ebooks together. All right, so I hope to see you tomorrow. We're going to do a little bit more around thinking about our future of our goal. And Friday, we're going to wrap up our whole book in a bow. And I'm excited for that. All right, good to see you. Much love. Goodbye. See you tomorrow.